What's up, Cowboys Nation? Victor here. And listen, this defensive coordinator search might already be over before we even realize it. The Cowboys say they're casting a wide net. They say they're doing their homework, but according to one of the most trusted insiders around this team, Dallas already has its guy, and here's the catch. The Cowboys can't hire him yet, so today we're breaking down. The rumor is that we already have a preferred candidate, why the Cowboys are suddenly obsessed with fixing the secondary, and what this tells us about the direction of the defense moving forward. Make sure you stick around, and real quick, if you're a true Cowboys fan, smash that like button, subscribe to Dallas Cowboys today, and help us hit our goal of 14,000 subscribers. Let's ride! Over the weekend, the Cowboys completed their first round of interviews for defensive coordinator. And publicly, the front office keeps saying all the right things. We're keeping our options open. We're doing a thorough search. But behind the scenes, the story sounds very different. Cowboys insider Bobby Belt, speaking on Shan and RJ on 105.3 The Fan, dropped this little nugget that should grab every Cowboys fan's attention. According to Belt, after wrapping up the initial interviews, the feeling around the team is this: I think Jim Leonhard will be their guy. Not could be, not one of the finalists, their guy. The only reason he hasn't been hired yet. The Denver Broncos are still alive in the playoffs. Leonhard already completed his virtual interview with Dallas on Saturday, but because he's currently on Sean Payton's staff in Denver, the Cowboys can't officially move forward until the Broncos are eliminated. Denver is hosting the Buffalo Bills this week. If the Broncos lose, the door opens immediately. Until then, the Cowboys can keep interviewing. But let's be honest, when a team talks like this, they're not looking to be convinced. They're waiting for clearance. Now here's where this gets really interesting. Look at the names Dallas is connected to. Jim Leonhard. Passing game, secondary background Durante Jones. Passing game emphasis, Jonathan Cooley, Panthers. Pass game coordinator Ephraim Banda, Browns. Safeties coach. That's not random. That's a clear message. The Cowboys are laser focused on fixing one thing, the secondary. And honestly, after what we watched in 2025, how could they not be? Let's be real, Cowboys Nation. This secondary fell apart. Jerry Jones himself admitted they underestimated the loss of Jordan Lewis. The plan was supposed to be Darren Bland sliding inside to the slot, Trevin Diggs locking down the outside Kaiir Elam and Kalen Carson competing opposite him. Sounds good on paper, right? Well, reality hit hard. Bland needed a second foot surgery. Diggs was shown the door. Rookie Shavin Revel had a rough year. Communication issues everywhere. Missed assignments. Explosive plays allowed weekly outside of week 1 versus the Eagles. That dream scenario never materialized. By the end of the season, the Cowboys were openly frustrated with their coverage breakdowns. And it showed. This is why Jim Leonhard makes so much sense. Leonhard's entire coaching identity is built around coverage, discipline, communication on the back end, limiting explosive passing plays. And let's not forget, former NFL safety elite football IQ, proven defensive coordinator at Wisconsin, respected voice in the locker room. This feels like a philosophical reset, not just a new coordinator, but a new defensive identity. And here's the scary part. In a good way, the Cowboys are projected to have 2 first-round picks in the upcoming draft. If you pair a secondary-focused defensive coordinator with premium draft capital, you might finally see a complete rebuild of the defensive backfield done the right way. Scheme, talent, development, all aligned. Now I want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. Do you think Jim Leonhard should be the next defensive coordinator? Or do you want the Cowboys to keep searching? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Cowboys Nation now. This is one of those conversations that divides the fan base. Because on one side, you've got production, you've got highlights, you've got Pro Bowl numbers. But on the other side, you might be looking at a $120 million mistake. Yes, a new report says the Cowboys are predicted to lock themselves into a massive contract that could cripple this roster for years. And the player at the center of it all? George Pickens. Stay with me because this is not as simple as pay the man. But first, hit that like button, subscribe to Dallas Cowboys today, and help us reach 14,000 subscribers. If you want real Cowboys talk, not sugar-coated takes, you're in the right place. Let's start with the truth. The George Pickens trade, on the field, it absolutely worked. George Pickens, 2025 season, 93 receptions, 1,429 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. First Pro Bowl selection Pickens became a major reason why Dallas finished with the number 2 offense in the NFL. There's no denying it. He delivered. He exceeded expectations. He earned himself a massive payday, and now the Cowboys are at a crossroads. According to Nick Harris of the Star-Telegram, the Cowboys are expected to 1. Use the franchise tag on Pickens, 2. Then work toward a 4-year, $120 million contract Spotrac projects his value at $30 to $6 million per year. That would make Pickens one of the highest paid receivers in the entire NFL, and that's where the controversy starts. Here's the issue, Cowboys Nation. Dallas already has a lot of money tied up in CeeDee Lamb. If you commit $30+ million per year to Pickens too, you're locking up a massive chunk of the salary cap in 2 wide receivers. And while offense sells jerseys, defense wins championships. Let's not forget what happened in 2025. Cowboys defense, 31 points allowed per game, worst in the NFL. Last in passing yards allowed, bottom 3 in total yards allowed, as great as Pickens was. He didn't fix that. The offense scored, the defense collapsed, and the season still ended early. Dallas doesn't need another luxury contract. Dallas needs reinforcements everywhere on defense. Now let's talk about the uncomfortable part. George Pickens' talent has never been the question. Effort, focus, maturity, that's been the concern since Pittsburgh. And guess what? We saw flashes of that in Dallas. Games where he looked disengaged, missed the team bus, got benched. Now ask yourself this honestly. Does giving him $120 million make that better or worse? History tells us it usually gets worse. As a Cowboys fan, here's my honest take. George Pickens is an elite talent, but elite talent on a broken roster, that doesn't fix anything. If you pay Pickens and CeeDee at the top of the market, you're choosing offense over balance. You're choosing highlights over championships. You're choosing short-term excitement over long-term stability, and we've seen how that story ends. The Sporting News puts it bluntly, and I don't hate the logic. Tag Pickens, trade him to the highest bidder, get premium draft capital, find a cheaper replacement, rebuild the defense. That might not be popular, but smart decisions rarely are. Now, Cowboys Nation, I need your opinion. Would you pay George Pickens $120 million? Or should Dallas tag and trade him while his value is at its peak? Is elite offense worth sacrificing defensive depth? Drop your takes in the comments. I read every single one. If you appreciate honest Cowboys analysis, if you want this team built the right way, hit that like button, subscribe to Dallas Cowboys Today, and help us hit 14,000 subscribers. This offseason will define the future of this franchise. I'm Victor, this is Dallas Cowboys Today, and no matter how heated the debate gets, how about them Cowboys?